All right, hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk factions. So factions are a system that's coming in 1.0 on February 1st for last Epoch, and there's quite a bit of information that was given to us today by 11th Hour Games, the devs of last Epoch. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go over like the basics of it and also some of the new details that have come out. So first off, though, I want to mention that this video is sponsored by 11th Hour Games, again, the last Epoch devs. We were going to cover this anyway. We're going to do a video on it, so that's a win-win for us. They did ask me, though, in doing the sponsorship, if I would cover something, which I'm more than happy to do, which is the Twitch drops schedule that is going to be happening on the launch of 1.0. 1.0, again, is February 21st, and from February 22nd through March 3rd, we will have Twitch drops that are based on the two different factions. So you've got the Circle of Fortune, and you've got the Merchants Guild, you have capes, and you have pets. And each one gets a 2-day period of time that they will be available. So you'll watch Twitch streamers that have this enabled. And in doing so, you will acquire the items. So you have the Circle of Fortune cape, February 22nd through 29th. Merchants Guild one, the February 24th and March 2nd. Did I say February 22nd through? I meant February 22nd and February 29th. Then Merchants Guild, February 24th and March 2nd. And then the Lizard Pet, February 23rd and March 1st. And then the Circle of Fortune Orb Pet is February 25th and March 3rd. So if you want those, just figure out which streamers are going to have their drops enabled. I imagine that I will have them. I can almost guarantee that I will have them. And so will a bunch of other people. So you should have plenty of opportunities to get these cosmetics if you want them. Okay, now on to the content at hand here. The factions is a big part of 1.0. A part that many people are looking forward to because it includes trade and also a system that's an alternative to trade, which is pretty unique in the genre. Generally, when games have trade in this genre, they have a version that doesn't have trade, but they don't give you anything for it. They don't offset the loss of trade in any way, but the faction system will do exactly that. So let's get into the system. We'll start off, though, with a brief history. This is from EHG's perspective. I will give my perspective of how we got to the faction system. So last Epoch was always supposed to have trade in it. Even back in the Kickstarter, the plan was to have trade through a system called the Bazaar, and this was true for years. For several years, I've been covering this game more than 4 years, and through 95% of that, it was supposed to have trade. Then, not too long ago, they decided they were going to attempt to pivot into a gifting style system, which was effectively Diablo 3 style, quote-unquote trade, where you could only give items to people who were in your party when they dropped. That was not well received. A lot of people were looking forward to the trade system. It also seemed like, that's a pretty big change from what you were promising. And so they got a lot of feedback that that was maybe not the best option. And so they reconsidered that, got some more feedback, did some surveys, etc. Decided that they believed the community was pretty split on whether or not people wanted to do trade or not do trade. But they thought about 50% wanted to. About 50% didn't want to. Those numbers are certainly disputable. However, the reality is that some people really want to trade and some people really didn't want trade. And so they decided the faction system would be a good option for both. And I generally agree with them. I actually very much agree with them under just about every circumstance that this has at least the potential, if it's executed properly, to really appeal to both sides. And I think it's going to. I think at 1.0 people are really going to like this. And I even think people who were on one side or the other might be tempted by the alternative option. So people who are going to trade might be very tempted by the Circle of Fortune non-trade option. And then people who don't typically like trade in this genre, it might be a lot of it is due to the high friction. And this system is going to have a lot less friction in a lot of areas that might make people think twice about trading. So let's get into what the system is and what we learned today that adds some depth to our knowledge of how it's going to work. So the factions are Circle of Fortune and Merchants Guild. Merchants Guild is the trade one. Circle of Fortune is the non-trade one. The Merchants Guild, you'll use an auction house kind of style. It's not exactly an auction house because you don't have like timed periods where it's up there and people bid on it. There's no bidding. It's just you post it and then people can buy it. And then the Circle of Fortune is the non-trade, where you will have higher item drops that are connected to how high of a rank you are in that faction, but also a system that's called prophecies, to where you can kind of start to target farm things with a currency that you get. So both these systems are going to work pretty similarly, as far as they're going to have reputation. They're going to have a specific currency that's used for different mechanics within them, but then what those mechanics are and what your reputation rewards are going to be different. And we'll cover that here very soon. So this all happens on February 21st. With 1.0 launch, we're going to get both these factions. Okay, so we'll start with some basics. Won't cover too much time into this, because this will all be like really detailed information when we get closer. But TLDR, you're going to join a faction sometime seemingly in the campaign when you get to Majelka. Majelka currently happens at Chapter 9, so the assumption is that around Chapter 9, you'll be able to join your faction and start actually using it. That is towards the end of the campaign, so this is like late campaign, end game activity. If it holds, if everything holds as it is right now, that would be what it would be. It would be once you get towards the end of the campaign, then you start to do this, and you work it into the end game and go from there. There's going to be a faction panel that lets you keep track of things like your reputation rewards, and your favor, which is the currency that's specific to factions. Both factions have favor that they gain through killing monsters and doing the activities they need to do. So you'll see how much you have, and then you'll see rewards and some other features through this this panel. There's one for Circle of Fortune, and there's one for Merchant's Guild. And here we go. Here we're seeing it here. Here's your reputation, or excuse me, your rank, and your reputation, and then here is what you're getting for that. So this person is rank 3 with a reputation, and they have unlocked the enemy item drop chance, upgraded Rune of Ascendance, and idle drop chance perks for their rank, and we will go into all of these ranks here in a little bit. So this is how you can keep track of that. And then here's your favor. So that is the UI, and that's how to access it. So let's actually get into, well, what does this thing do? I guess actually let's cover real quick another aspect of it. I don't want to get too into the weeds some of this stuff, because it's going to be stuff that you're going to really want to know once you get closer. But right now you want to know how cool these are. But there are rank requirements, so this is just good to know. You can't be in like Circle of Fortune and get like really amazing gear and then take it and go into trade and then use it to get up, build up a trade empire. What you get in one that's directly from using that faction, so like the rewards you get from Circle of Fortune or things you buy in Merchant's Guild, you can't use in the other, even though you can technically swap. So there's these rank requirements will prevent that sort of stuff. So that's a good thing. That means you can't cheese the system. There won't be abuse cases, hopefully. Okay. Another feature that we did not know about outside of the actual faction, mechanics are faction vendors. So these are a new reveal, and there's apparently a vendor who's going to have faction specific base items that you can gamble for using your favor. According to EHG, these aren't supposed to be super endgame items. They're just supposed to help you out kind of early, mid-ish game would have to be, because you're not going to have them in the campaign. So they're a cool little addition, but they're not the meat and potatoes what we care about here. So let's talk about what we do care about, which are the actual factions and what they do. So the Merchant's Guild is the trade one. This is going to be all about trade. Everything that you do here is going to be about trading, and you're going to do it here in this bazaar. You can't really tell too much that's going on here, but you can see there's some vendors, and you're going to use these vendors to make your trades, either buy things or sell things. So when you select them, you're going to get your reputation. It's going to start to accumulate, and also your favor is going to start to accumulate. You're going to use favor to both buy and sell items. You're going to use favor and gold. So there's a gold cost, and there's also a favor cost to list and to make a purchase. So you have the two currencies that you'll be tracking with this. And then you also have the reputation and the ranks that you get. Let's talk about the ranks for the Merchant's Guild. Again, this is the trade one, and it'll make sense, what these are doing. So basically, unlike a lot of games of trade, you can't trade everything to start. Even once you open up the trade faction, you'll only be able to start with trading basic items, which are normal, magic, and rare, which are still a lot of items. But you won't be able to trade everything else. You have to rank up from the rest of the ranks, through the rest of the ranks, to open up all of the possibilities, which ultimately are almost everything in the game. I think the only thing you can't trade are crafting materials. But everything else you can trade. So rank 2, you can trade set items. Those are the green items. They're not super valuable under most circumstances in the game right now, but you'll be able to trade those early. Rank 3, you'll be able to trade specific unique items. What that means by specific is no legendary potential. Legendary potential is, a very chasey type thing. But you'll be able to trade all the basic uniques. So if you need build enabling uniques, you can get them off the bazaar fairly early. Rank 4, you can trade idols. Those are, very powerful item that are pretty chasey as well. So being able to get those that early is pretty nice. Rank 5, you can trade exalted weapons. Not exalted items, though, or non-weapons. Those are rank 7. And then rank 6 is unique weapons, with rank 8 being unique items. So by rank 8, you can trade everything that's not legendary at that point. And that includes legendary potential. So at rank 3, you can trade non-legendary potential. By rank 6, you can start to open up legendary potential stuff. Rank 8, you can do all of them. And then rank 5 and 7, you'll have all your exalted items available to you as well. Rank 9 and 10 are just for legendaries. So this is, you've taken a unique with legendary potential and you've slapped into it an exalted item and made it a legendary. So that's pretty high level stuff. At that point, you can do it. Should also mention, the trade system only allows you to trade an item once, so you can't play the market. So this is going to all be about item acquisition and then selling the items that you've acquired yourself to then trade for items that other people have acquired. There won't be a market manipulation style stuff going on here, which for some people will be great, for other people won't be so great, but it's just, I think, worth pointing out. Okay, as far as buying items and selling items, this is your UI for buying. Apparently can't make that larger, unfortunate. I'm actually surprised I can't make that larger. So you have this UI here where you can go in and you can select different options to drill down what you're looking for, and this gets very, very specific. So I can tell you from my own testing, this should be allowed to find pretty much anything you need. So you have all that built into the game. It's not something you have to go to a third-party website for. You'll just be able to go in here and select. This person is actually looking for an Eye of Reen, and all he's doing is changing the rarity and then the base type, because Eye of Reen is a very specific base type. And you can find all of the Eye of Reens in there just by doing that. So it's pretty easy to go in and find what you want. And then selling is actually arguably easier. You just go in here, you open up your inventory through list an item. You put the item in, you put how much you want to sell for. Favor cost is auto-populated for you. That's something that is locked in, and there you go. You've listed it. Done. You can also unlist just as easily. So very easy to use system, especially compared to other games in the genre. Any game really with trade, I think, in the genre is much more non-intuitive and non-quality of life than this. So this is going to be a really refreshing change to how trade has worked in RPGs. Okay, Circle of Fortune is quite a bit different. In Circle of Fortune, we're self-sustaining. We're not using trade at all. So let's talk about the rewards that we get in that. We have rank 1 enemy item drop chance. There's a 35% chance of them dropping twice as many items. That's effectively a 35% increase in drops. So you're rank 1, you already get 35% more drops than you get in the trade environment. Rank 2, you've upgraded Rune of Ascendance. Rune of Ascendance is a crafting material that allows you to take a non-unique item and turn it into a unique item of the same type. So if you put a one-handed axe in your crafting thing, use the Rune of Ascendance, you'll get back a unique one-handed axe. This gives you a 45% chance for those to be preserved when used, so it's effectively 45% more Rune of Ascendance uses. That's what it ends up being. Rank 3 is Idle Drop Chance, 25% chance for two more, to drop at the same time when you idle drops. That's what, a 50% increase, because it's 25% chance for double. So that's a big buff. Rank 4 Exalted Affixes are 50% more likely. That's huge. Monolith Echo reward upgrade for rank 5. The rewards from Monolith Echo. So every Echo in the Monolith, the endgame system, has a reward tied to it for completing it. This gives you a 35% chance to double those rewards. Effectively 35% more Monolith Echo rewards. Rank 6, your legendary potential chance is doubled. This is huge. Legendary potential chance is one of the big chases in the game. So getting twice as likely to get it as a trade environment would be a big buff, big boon. Rank 7, tier 7 affixes chances are twice as common. This is also the big chase in the end game, trying to get tier 7 affixes, so that's also huge. Rank 8, rare to exalted chance. An item that would have dropped as a rare above level 44 has a 25% chance of becoming exalted. That's a 25% of your total rare items. That's a massive increase to the number of exalteds you have, because rares are far more likely to drop than exalted. So this is possibly more than double the number of exalteds you're going to see, which is just insane. A huge number. Rank 9, anytime they set item will drop, you get a full set. Not super valuable in case you're actually looking for unless you're looking for a specific set item, which most people aren't, but if you are, that's pretty valuable. And then rank 10, your prophecy rewards upgrades are duplicated. And we're going to talk about this in a minute here. Prophecies are a powerful addition to the Circle of Fortune faction, and so duplicating the rewards you get is pretty crazy. So actually, let's go into prophecies right now. Prophecies are, I really wish I could make this larger, but for some reason I can't. Let's try it this way. Nope, can't do it that way. Well, let's see here. There we go. So prophecies are these things that you can purchase through the CUF through your favor by going in. You can actually see here, he's in this room here. This room is got 4 telescopes. 1, 2, 3, 4 up at the top. And by going to one of the telescopes, he can open up a constellation. Each telescope has specific item types that it's covering. I'm not sure exactly which ones they are, but let's say this one is idols, this one's crafting materials, this one's weapon, this one's armor. It's not that. I don't think it is, but let's just say they are. So he's going in here, and so he's looking for, I said this one's weapons. Let's say he's looking for weapons. I don't know. I don't remember if that's what this is or not. So he goes in here, he gets constellation. This is actually weapons, so look at that. So he's in the right side one, which is weapons, and then he gets prophecies that are specific to weapons. So the first one he looks at is the invitation prophecy, which gives him 2 unique weapons if he kills Chronomancer Jilra, who is the final boss in the Temporal Sanctum dungeon at tier 3. So do that one, get 2 unique weapons upon her death. The next one we look at is the death of an arena champion in the arena. The arena champion is a different endgame system. They go in there, do the arena champion, and then they get 2 exalted 2-handed staffs if they take this one. Notice also they have a different cost. So this one costs 1,300 favor. This one costs 450 favor. The next one we've got is a unique caster weapon with 1 legendary potential if they kill Firelich Cremoris, which is the final boss of Soulfire Bastion dungeon at tier 4. So this is higher than the other one, tier 3. This is the highest tier of dungeons right now. This costs a whopping 6,500 reputation, but it's guaranteed 1 legendary potential. So this is a pretty high value prophecy right here. I think these are going to be very desirable styles of prophecies. So they go ahead and buy that one, and now all they have to do is kill Firelich Cremoris. Doing so, they'll get the drop, and then hopefully it's what they're looking for. Okay, so that's the prophecies in general. So we actually covered there also how they work, like the event. You got the event, the condition, and the reward. The event is what you have to do. The condition is where you do it, and then the reward, of course, is what you get. But there's more. There's more to the Circle of Fortune. Thanks to feedback from the community tester program, they've added this lenses system. So let's cover this too. I'll have to do it the same way, I guess. Okay, so you're in your telescopes. Remember, there's 4 telescopes, one on the right, one at the top, one at the left, one at the bottom, and they are for different item types. He goes into this one, and he's got these lenses over here, right? He's got these lenses. He takes one. He takes enhancing lens of runes. This is a 15% increased chance per rank to find runes, and he pops it in this lenses area. And in doing so, has activated that for this particular telescope. It's also going to add an increased chance per rank to find exalted items, and per rank. And then the last one is 100% reduced chance for prophecies to have arena events. This one is shutting off arena events completely as far as prophecies having that as a condition. It will not be in there. It will not be something that they have to worry about at that point. They will not get arena ones for this particular telescope. So by doing this, they've kind of supercharged their loot hunt. So in this case, we can assume that they're looking for runes, and we can assume they're looking for exalted items. and they don't like arena. And by putting these lenses in, they've increased the chance of getting all 3 of those things. So that's a pretty cool ad that gives us a lot of control over the kind of content that we want to farm for through the prophecies, but also the kind of rewards we want to get. And they do list here what these things can do. In fact, no, here we go. So they don't give us all of the lenses that we can have, but they do tell us like the types we have. Like this one is, per rank, 50% chance per rank to find large idols. So that means that reputation rank 10, you have 150% chance. Again, this is the prophecies themselves, right? So you're going to find large idol prophecies in the telescope. It's going to increase the chances they're going to show up as a prophecy in that particular telescope. Enhancing lens of the unmatched, 50% increased chance per rank to find unique items. Again, 150% chance. And apparently you can put more than one of these in. So like you can have 2 of the focusing lens of idols in, and it's additive. So instead of 150% chance, you'd have 300% chance. And the obscuring lens of battle, 100% reduced chance for prophecy of arena events. We covered that. So again, remember these are telescope specific. So you have 4 telescopes. So you'll have 3 lenses per telescope for a total of 12 lenses. And the lenses in each telescope will only affect that telescope. And some of these only make sense for one particular telescope, like large idols would only make sense in the idol telescope, and so you're only gonna put that one in. It's only gonna fit into that one. So there are some restrictions, but they make sense. Like why would you put an idol one in something that couldn't spawn idol prophecies? Wouldn't make any sense. There's also faction rank rewards for lenses. So just like there are for finding loot, this has an upgrade path. So rank 2, you get your first lens slot out of the 3. And you can choose increased chance of specific item type prophecy. Rank 3, you can block activity type lenses, so like block the arena. Rank 4, you can increase your chance of specific item rarity prophecy lenses for purchase. And rank 5, you can unlock the block high corruption lenses for purchase, and you get your second lens slot. So this is if you don't want to do like hard content, I guess. But the second lens slot's really valuable, of course. Rank 7, you can unlock the special greater lens prophecies that cost 80% more favor and have twice as many uses. So this is like a direct benefit or direct boon on the amount of stuff you're going to get. It costs 80% more favor, but you're getting it to use that prophecy twice. That's more, right? Double, better than 80%. So that's a net positive. And same thing with rank 8, prophecies cost 90% more favor, but they have double the reward types. And you can wear both of those, so big benefits there. And then rank 9, you unlock your third lens slot. So lots to do with the lenses and the prophecy system. There's lots of customization in there and lots of targeting what you're looking for. So I think for a lot of people who trade, they trade to be able to target more easily, right? And that's still probably going to be the case, at least in a lot of scenarios, that trade is going to be even better at targeting. But this does change, it closes that gap a lot. Now you can do a lot of targeting without having to trade. So if you don't like trade, this is amazing. And even if you do like trading, well, this is a pretty cool system. Maybe you do this one anyway. Or maybe you do both like me. I'm going to just do both because they're both really cool. So at some points I'll be trading, at some points I won't be trading. And I think it's going to be awesome to be able to switch between those two. Okay, there's a little bit more to cover in here, but not much. In fact, there's only one more thing, which is resonances. And resonances are basically 11th Hour Games' way of allowing you to have like your own little trade league. Let's say you just want to trade with your friends. You don't want to do the bazaar. So you want to do Circle of Fortune maybe. But again, you still want to be able to trade with your friends. This lets you do it. Basically, when you play with people, you will start to drop resonances. And resonances will allow you to gift them certain items. Gifting just means like you can give it to them. And you can also use this to make trades amongst each other. But this gives you the opportunity to still play with people and do the Circle of Fortune stuff without having to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to give them things. And it bypasses the normal gifting restrictions. So that's a big positive there. So it's just another way to be able to give stuff to them, even if here's the important part of this. So because if they're in your party, you can just give them stuff, right? But if they're not present when the item dropped, you can use a resonance to give it to them. So let's say you were let's say Carverusku and Kissing Ire were playing together a lot, and Carve was looking for a particular item, and Kissing Ire happened to be playing when Carve wasn't, or they weren't partying together, and that item dropped, and she wanted to give Carve that item. Resonance is allowed to do that, so that's what resonances do. Okay, that covers everything really with the faction. Now, there's a lot of information here. I did do it in 25 minutes, which was a long time, but not as long as I could have done it. So I hope that this clears up some stuff for you guys about what the factions are, gets you hyped about what they are. I think this is a really, really cool feature that's coming in 1.0, which again is February 21st. And so I'm super looking forward to this. Like crazy looking forward to this. I can't wait to get my hands on this stuff, and I hope you are too. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your time in Last Epoch, and I'll see you all again real soon.